Me and four of my teammates, we were in a game tonight, and this guy who goes by the name of Nitro or whatever claims to be an administrator who says he's going to ban me and five of my teammates because we made him rage quit. Now, I'm curious and wonder that do administrators usually go out of the way to threaten you, to ban you after they make that player rage quit out of a game?
So, it's kind of hard for me to hear you. It's not that you're not loud enough, it's almost that you're too loud.
Oh, sorry.
I understood everything except for the specific of what they said they were going to do. They were going to ban what?
They were going to ban me and three of my other players that I play with on the game that we had just played on. And he says, after I sent him a text message saying, why'd you guys rage quit? He claims to be an administrator saying that, yeah, I'm going to report all four of you, have you all banned on your IP. And he said every one of my ISA members, which is my team. And, you know, he's making threats against both myself and three of my other players. None of my players had sent this guy a message. They had nothing to do with it. This was me sending a message to him saying, why are you leaving games, ending games, and stuff like that. And this guy's going out of his way, sending me 4 messages, which I have on record, stating that he's an administrator, he's going to ban my IP, and he's going to ban fucking all the rest of my teammates.
Alright, so, what you should do is go ahead and report that.
Oh, we've already reported it. We've already taken that step.
Okay, that's the way to do it, because you want to make sure that it's anonymous. You don't want to post in any forums about it, that kind of thing, because you don't want to fan the flames, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Now, to me, this doesn't sound like someone who an administrator would say that. If it, like, an administrator would not, I don't think, go out of his way and say something like this to you. They would just automatically ban you. He says I'm going to receive this within 24 hours.
Okay, now here's the deal. Okay? Now, why would they wait 24 hours?
That's my point. That's my point exactly. An administrator would ban you instantly.
Right, so if a real administrator, because we never get to talk to them, customers can't talk to them. If you happen to get banned in 24 hours, you will need to go to the forums and post, why did I get banned? You should probably keep all the notes that you possibly can, okay? Mm-hmm. Because if they do it, okay, then that's unfortunate. Maybe he really is an administrator. But if he is, and he works for the policy enforcement team, he can just pull your console and do it right now. Why does he have to wait?
Well, I called him out on that. I asked this guy, what's the name on my account and what's my internet service provider? He wouldn't respond that to me. When I responded to him with that message, his response was, now you're being reported for another thing, for harassment. If you read the terms of policy, sending someone more than 2 messages is considered harassment. Now, I kindly tried to invite him into a party on Xbox Live to try to settle this, but this guy keeps, denying it or whatever. When I joined his party, he sent me a party invite, and he was in there with about 7 or 8 people. I just left it. I chose not to even bother speak to him if he's in there with a bunch of people.
It doesn't sound legitimate to me, and the only reason is because if it's part of the policy enforcement team, they aren't going to talk to you. They just pull your account right now. They don't play the game, get you into a party with 7 other people, and then ban you. Mm-hmm. And ISP bans are really, 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 really rare. People can get their Windows Live account banned pretty easily.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, people, I get calls 2 or 3 times a day. Somebody gets banned because they did something they weren't supposed to. Mm. They usually know that they aren't supposed to before they do it. But, of course, I'm not going to tell them that, right?
Right.
But we're having a conversation of, is it potentially possible that this guy is legitimate, okay? So that's why I'm bringing it up.
Right.
If the policy enforcement team gets a report have violated the terms of agreement. You put something in your bio that's not appropriate. You think it's okay, but somebody else doesn't.
Right.
Now, they report you, you get banned.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody invites you into chat to tell you that.
No, I know. No, he sent me 4 messages that I have on record as of right now on my phone, stating what he had said on every last message, and I don't believe that this guy is legit one bit. I think he's like the biggest. I think he's full of shit. I have been banned myself before for a communications ban once, and that was before Black Ops 2 came out. Now, since then, I've actually, I've ignored a lot of people in response to, saying certain things that I would used to, because I've cleaned up my accents and because I've learned my lesson. But when I send this guy a message, for ending a game, that to me is like a form of cheating on here. You got guys ending that and ruining other people's records and stats and stuff like that. Now, most people don't care about that, but, I speak for a lot of people, to say, enough's enough. What makes you think you have the right to do something like that? And then you go and claim you're an administrator and then tell me this crap? You got another thing coming.
Yeah, so you don't want to report it too much, because then that will also potentially make you look bad.
Well, no, I had the 5 players on my team report him for the same thing, for voice message, whatever. Now,
right.
Question is, will they look into this or not? Because, I don't want to come on tomorrow and knows that, if he was, or a hacker or something like that, end up banning my IP or something like that, and then I have to really, decide to take legal action.
That's the thing. You don't want to overdo it. But if the 5 of you reported this guy for voice, and that's what he did, you make a report for text because he texted you, and you don't think that there's any other thing that's applicable on that report player option, then don't overdo it. You've done those 2 things. That's fine. Now leave it up to the people that are supposed to moderate that to take care of it.
Okay. Great.
Because you've got both sides of the coin. I mean, if he's legitimate, you've kept what he said. He says, I'm an administrator, I'm going to ban you. So you can post in the forum later, hey, this guy comes in, he quits the match, he does all this stuff, he threatens me and my friends, saying that he's an administrator, and then I actually do get banned. This just sounds fishy to me, because why would how can a moderator that's not part of the policy enforcement team get special treatment to say he doesn't like the situation, he's discontent?
Mm-hmm. I mean, wouldn't it be illegal for them to do something like that? Like, they have to...
I don't work for them, that's the thing.
Right.
So that's why I think it's better to look at the situation a little more constructively. What makes sense? What's expected?
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect, you don't either, a moderator to go to these links.
No.
Well, if he is, and you do get banned in 24 hours, say, you don't have to say if it's illegal, leave that part out, but just put, why would a moderator be allowed this kind of leverage?
Mm-hmm.
That just doesn't seem to be very ethical.
That's a crooked coordinator in my mind, and I pay for a service, every year, and I know I haven't broken any terms, I haven't gone over to any extent of, making threats against anyone, but, I made a simple text message saying, why did you rage quit or whatever. Was there a curse word maybe used in it? Possibly, but I don't remember, because it was 2 hours ago. I've been sending...
But that's fine. You can't control what other people will say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good chance this guy is legitimate. But it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up to me.
Okay, great. I mean...
The enforcement team, they don't talk to you first.
Yeah.
They ban you, and you said you had it happen, so you've seen it. You're playing, your console says that somebody's logging onto your console, and then you can't log in.
Okay.
So it isn't, I don't think it's a moderator.
Okay, well, that's
The
great.
Raiders.
I mean, that's all I wanted to know. I mean, that's all I wanted to get. Okay, great. Thank you. You've been more than helpful.
If they do it, then put everything that he told you and put that you're trying to handle it responsibly, and you just keep getting these constant threats.
Wow.
Why?
I mean, this guy will be posted on the World Wide Web, so this guy's going to be known on the web to known that you're claiming to be an administrator, so he's screwed either way in my mind. If he better pray that he's an administrator, because if he isn't, I'm going to expose him for the phony he is on YouTube that I'm doing as of tonight.
Yeah, so don't do that yet.
No, not yet. I'm going to wait till tomorrow, see if there's a ban, and then find out. Because honestly, I'm not having me or my team threatened by some random schmuck who rage quits from a game.
No, but I again, this is my recommendation. Don't do anything. If it doesn't happen, don't do it. Because what if somehow the policy enforcement team or somebody gets a hold of the YouTube video and they think that that's wrong, and then you get banned for that?
Yeah, that is true.
It's unfortunate. These kind of things shouldn't happen, but there's that 1% in the world that does it.
Okay.
So, it's up to you. Hey, I'm not going to tell you you can't.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll definitely take it under consideration. I mean, I host my own channels and stuff like that, and we try to get every, cheaters and stuff banned offline because we don't like associate with anything like that. We have policies on my clan team that we report cheaters, report banners, abusers, all that sort of thing. And here's the example of one.
Right. Now, I don't normally go to the forums. Do you have ways to send actual moderators that you know for sure is a moderator and do it in a polite, again, constructive way that, hey, last night I got this. That's not posting a public message.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know any moderators. I mean, I don't know any moderators myself.
Well, yeah, neither do I. Like, if I post on a Bethesda forum or something, I'll just send a personal message to one. I don't know if that's an option on the forums because, to be honest, I don't go to them. So
okay.
I text people to them. But if you can find a way to do it that way, that you're maybe you can go to support.com on Xbox.com and send a support message to the support staff. Something that says, hey, I have a concern. I think it's valid for these reasons. Here's the gamer tag. It's not spammed all over the internet. That's, I think, a more viable approach. If you get banned, then make your video or whatever you feel like is appropriate, because then you're like, hey, a moderator actually did this, and you don't feel that moderators should have that kind of leverage.
Well, yeah, and then I would try to take every type of form of action I possibly could against this guy.
Of course, and I would too. But that would be like the extreme if it gets to that point. Otherwise, there's probably some kind of support email or forum thing on the Xbox.com that you can still report it to an actual Xbox employee. That would be a better method or a better escalation path to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, you've been more than helpful, so I'll just end it with that there. That's all I just wanted to know. Okay.
You want a service record number that just shows you called in. I made my notes of what we discussed. It's pretty brief. It's just a summary. But, if you need it or to reference in the future, if something happens, it couldn't hurt.
Right. No, I think I'll just stop it there. If something happens, I will take the proper action with the forums and stuff.
Yeah. I don't think anything will happen, and really, you and your teammates have done the proper thing. That's within the terms of agreement. You make a couple of reports, and you leave it at that, and then you leave the guy alone and put him on ignore.
Okay, great.
You won't get matched with the matchmaking up with him, and you'll be fine.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for calling Xbox, and you have a nice day.
You too.